Happy Friday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffrey Mitchell, and I'm forcing myself to talk to you. I should leave it just like this so you can't see my eyes. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Do you think that would be fun? I do, but I can't do it. Put it up about like that. How about that? Is that good? Or is that too high? The angle and the distance make the movement. Oh, that's perfect. Anyway, hey. Happy Friday, boys and girls. It's a rainy Southern California day. Talking about we're having one of the biggest storms we've had in years. And it feels like it too. It's raining, it's cold. Clouds look ominous. My sinuses acted up yesterday. Took Sudafed twice. Two Sudafed a 4-hour span in 8 hours, two, whatever. And it kind of helped. Headache didn't get too out of hand. Seems to have cleared up today. I might take Sudafed and Tylenol today just for kicks. A lot of rain. It's nice though. I remember when I used to come out here, when I first moved out here in the 80s, it would rain 2 straight weeks every January, February. Then it stopped doing that. And now it seems to getting back to something. But they're talking about a big storm. Anyway, cut this on to talk, kind of force myself to talk. Don't really want to. The rain and the cold and the extra blankets and space heaters, and just want to internalize. I just want to internalize and indulge in myself. I would say be introspective, but it's more wallowing in laziness and just nodding off and, just kind of being in that happy, easy place, which I believe you can do too much. I can do too much. And that's that. So tomorrow, I'll fly to Oakland, see George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic play at the Black Joy Parade. Here's where I was thinking I might want to split this video. I'm thinking too far ahead. I should just get on and talk and let it come out, because there's a few topics that I wanted to hit. And more and more, I want to put them in a more succinct manner. But that kind of goes against the whole streaming consciousness idea of just getting on here and talking about whatever. When I try to structure it so that I can have maybe more concise ideas and points articulated in a shorter span of video, as to make it easier to relay my message to a audience. But yeah, Black Joy. Let's just start there. Black Joy. First of all, I was gonna start off with Black Joy. That's an oxymoron. To be black nowadays almost means, I was gonna start talking about P-Funk in the show and the whole thing, but I'm going in this direction. To be black nowadays almost means you need to be victimized. It's almost against the narrative to say that I'm successful, I'm happy, and racism may exist, but it's not affecting me, and it's not a part of me. And, people will say the police killings of black men, and, they don't feel safe with police and all that. For someone to say that they don't feel that way, or they don't understand, they have no witness of that narrative or no experience of that kind of racism or brutality or mistreatment or even microaggressions, whatever they are. I think microaggressions should be legal. Hell, everybody does microaggressions. If you're not, there's something wrong with you. How can you be completely benign? That'd be like erasing all your opinions and thoughts and biases. How can you erase your biases? You're gonna like what you like. You walk into a place, you want to order pizza. Mushrooms or anchovies. You hate anchovies, but you love mushrooms. So which pizza are you going to like best every time? That's bias. You're going to have them. I think that what should be the goal is to understand that we all have biases. We all don't like each other. We all don't have to. But there's certain, my thing is though, even though I may not like this person or may not like that or may not do that, there's utility in some things that I don't like that I need, that I'll put up with. Of course, I don't like you. But hey, you got the best price on ribs today. I don't care if you're a Klansman. If I can get oxtails at $1.99 a pound, and all I got to do is hear you call me nigger walking out the door. I mean, that's an overstatement. But, that's kind of like Charles Barkley said. He said he'll work for the Klan if they pay him right. I mean, because everybody got to like you. Now, it might be different to work for an organization that's going out there blowing up things and killing people. That's a little different. But everybody don't gotta like you. Everybody's supposed to like you. So when I go through life and, I'm going through and I'm seeing things and my experience doesn't align with what I'm told the way things are, how am I supposed to react? I know for a fact a lot of people just go with the narrative. They just start repeating it. Because I hear the same things repeated over and over. From all across the country, all on Facebook, it's just like the same exact wording almost. It's like these people are being taught to be victims, being taught to feel oppressed. One time I was told I was too happy to be black. And I know what they meant. I was too free-spirited. I didn't have any anger or angst, or I didn't feel threatened. I was just free. Free spirit, blah, blah, blah. Walk out, hey, everybody, whatever. No, I'm not worried about the white man. No, I ain't worried about how that white man looked at me. No, I ain't worried about how he handed me my change at McDonald's. No, I don't care if he rolled his eyes or he used a little inflection in his voice. So what? I went to Barcelona last year. And Denmark. And London, for crying out loud. And that was just last year. So why am I worried about somebody maybe being a little flippant or a microaggression? There are bigger things. There are just bigger things. And I was watching something yesterday. And, well, I don't want to go down that road. But yeah, the Black Joy Parade. I was going to say that I was watching something about the Black Joy Parade. And one of the speakers, I guess the leader, and I was noticing a little bit of tension or contention or defensiveness in her voice. And another thing I noticed too, this is nothing against the Black Joy people, but I am looking into it. First of all, I saw hyper positivity. You don't usually see that with black people, the black, stereotypical black thing. Hyper positivity, and the way she talked and the enunciations and the cadences. And I'm looking at the things on the website what they're promoting, and I'm thinking, this seems to be aligned with the LGBTQ community. This seems to be aligned, or not aligned, but along the same lines of the wording and talking or whatever. I got the feel of an LBGT kind of thing, organization where, Black joy means black sexuality, black everything, black art, and all that. And when I started thinking that way, stereotypically, I'm like, from where I'm from, I'm thinking Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Angela Davis, that kind of black racism. In Oakland, my God, they're raised. That's where the Panthers came from. So they're raised thinking a certain way. And I don't want to use the word militant, but they're not apologetic. No apologetic at all. And the way that this person, the person from the Black Joy Parade talked, there was so much focus and not even emphasis on black people and the black thing that it was just the way she talked. Every ounce of her being was all black, unapologetically 100% black. And she did have a little bit of thing in her voice, but she was like, well, it's cute, stereotypically 2023 cute hair, had the look, the eyebrows, just that look and the makeup, and talking just, real professional. You can put her in front of the camera, but you can hear just a little bit of, that black people, not antagonism and not defensiveness, but it's kind of, a little twang we put on stuff. Well, what you mean? It just a little bit, but it was coming off in weird, just to me, it was coming off at weird times of the conversation. But I get it. I mean, like I said, she was cute, really cute. Looked like she knew she was talking about it. Sounded good. She had she had the whole thing down. The whole thing down and down. Google it some more, and you can see her on different programs and doing, pretty much, busting out the same, telling the same stories, answering the same question. But it was just her tone was just so unapologetically black and so black focused. And she spoke about black people and the things about, the black thing so matter of factly that it gave me chills. It was like, it's almost like, well, what do you expect? It was like, she was like, what do you expect? We're black. It was almost like, come on now, look, we want, but it was just so unapologetically black. There was no question that. There was no welcoming. It was like, this is how it is. You can come or not. But she never said it that way. She never put it that way. Her tone probably didn't come off that way. But there was no unapologetic. And that's cool, So I was trying to see what this Black Joy thing is, because like I said, Black Joy seems like an oxymoron. And there was one time, a family member told me I was too happy to be black. I was too carefree, too free-spirited. I don't feel like I'm under attack or vulnerable or a victim. So I'm not carrying that. And I started thinking the Democratic Party, if you look at it, they teach and preach that. They're preaching it. They're selling it. So that when black people, oh, we're this, we're that. It's us. I don't think it's so much more that it used to be, we can't do that. We don't go there. It really, even in my age, I'm 60 and before, I'm sure, older people was a lot worse, but even in my age and what I feel like was, I don't want to say post-racism, but I've said before, if there was racism in my life, I missed it or I forgot about it. If there was racism in my life, I missed it or forgot about it. I'm sure there was. And I probably just took it as, hey, something I need to do better or worse. Or I took it as part of the playing field, acknowledge it, work on it, move around it, leave it alone, destroy it, whatever. But don't focus on it and don't campaign against it. Just use it or lose it and move on or stay there. Let somebody else fix the world. I didn't mean it that way, but kind of that. I didn't mean it like let somebody else fix the world, fix that. I mean, it's just not my drive. I just don't have the drive to do it, but I'm not against anybody who's doing it. But I am questioning, why they're doing it. And it's not to make them stop, it's so that I can understand or see something that I might be missing. Because every now and then somebody say, oh yeah, we do this because this causes that. And I'm going, oh. So I'm always open to listen, even if I don't agree. So I'm looking at the Black Joy Parade and the wording they used and the websites, and it was janky because P-Funk was supposed to play there, and the only thing we had for a few days was a JPEG They said George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, black, the stage they were gonna play on, and the Black Joy Parade, and the date, and that was it. Nothing on any website, no tickets to be sold, nothing. And I get it. I mean, grassrootsy stuff. The website did look pretty good. It looked like it needs to be updated, but that's normal. That's normal. That's any organization. But it seems that to me, and I may be racist, ain't no maybe about it, I'm definitely racist. Because I do think race is a real thing, even though we may not have classified it, even though it may have been a conjuring up to do this or do that, or maybe it may have been built on premeditated circumstances, but that doesn't mean the idea is totally invalid. There's something to it. Race and culture. So I'm a racist. I just have certain ideas that certain races do certain things. Stereotypical, I prejudge, all that. I use it, but I don't hold hard fast, and I can get along with everybody. This is what I was kind of going back to. It's not that we're all the same. It's not that we should all even get along. There are differences. We ain't got to like everybody. Everybody ain't got to like you. But you ain't allowed to shoot them or kill them or rob them or rape them. Forget about all the hate laws. Just obey the laws that's already on the books. And the bottom line is, if somebody is going to rob and rape you and kill you anyway, what's the hate crime thing going to do? make the public feel better? Okay, it's a hate crime. Great. You still dead, and I'm still going to kill you. I'm already a criminal. So that legislating how people feel is difficult. You can have images on TV like we do now that kind of program or kind of lead people. Diversity, equality, inclusion campaign industry, every time you turn on TV, it's a mixed couple or black or white. You don't see any white males in any dominant positions anymore. Females just all over sports and broadcasting, just everything. I will say this though, I gotta say this much. One of the shows my mother watches that we kind of watch is Chicago PD. And I'm watching Chicago PD and, I'm like, okay. And then my sister brought up that they in Chicago and hardly none of the characters in it are black. It's only like one black character. And I was like, oh, well, maybe. I was trying to play devil advocate like I usually do with her. I was like, well, maybe. But they're on Chicago. Chicago ain't nothing but black crime. Southside Chicago, ain't nothing but black crime. And I'm watching it, hardly any of the criminals are black, because I get that part. They ain't gonna show black people in a demeaning way. That's not DEI. You're not gonna show black people in a demeaning way. All the criminals are either white or Hispanic, and I don't remember any black criminals now I think about it. And if they are, they're shown to be respectful. And then I looked at the cast and I thought the cast was diverse, but then I realized there's no black females in there. And think about it, for her, my sister, who is a black female, that's gonna be blaring. And it's probably been blaring for decades. Something I just wouldn't even And then she pointed out that, and what they do is they'll put in a female who's like mixed. So mixed you can't even tell if she's black or Hispanic or Asian or whatever, or some kind of foreign, Caribbean kind of barely light skin, one drop rule thing. And I was like, wow. And if you think about it, it's no real African, no black, no sister, no black girl, no stereotypical black American female in there. Now we're starting to see those in commercials. And I'll say it because you're starting to see overweight people, out of shape, out of shape, overweight people. Well, out of shape is subjective. People overweight, obese according to the USDA health standards or whatever, metrics that, national metrics. You're starting to see that in the commercials. And I get it, exercise, because those people, not those people, I shouldn't say those people. That sounded weird even to me. But they should be represented. I get that part. And I mean, we got a lot to do. I mean, no, we don't got nothing to do, actually. I didn't mean to say that. I can say there's a lot that can be done. Always. There will always be a lot that can be done, no matter what. So, and that's probably, if you ask me, part of what keeps life good. There's always more to do. And thank God there is. So, as I was saying, I'm a racist. I am a racist. No doubt about it. I have my ideas about races, quote unquote races, whatever they are, black people, white people. I can roughly say, I can say white people do this, black people do that. Black people don't ski, white people don't do this, blah, 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 And I loosely say it and I joke, but at the core, there is some truth to that, I believe, even though if it's not politically correct to say. Okay, so I'm a racist. And if you are cheering for a team because the coach is black, if you're cheering for a team because the quarterback is black, if every other one of your posts is about black this, black that, you're a racist. You are a racist. You're basing a lot of your philosophy and a lot of your intent, a lot of your focus is on race, black. Whenever you use black, that's race. Whenever you use the term black or African American to describe whatever you're talking about, that's race, and that's racist. That's not racism. Racism is different. Institutionalized racism, I think, is what I'm trying to associate with the word racism. When there are policies, procedures, written or unwritten, spoken or unspoken, that are in place to keep one race down or up. And this can happen both ways. Black people say black people can't be racist because they don't have the power to inflict their will on another race, whereas the white dominant culture here can. So I get it, So when I get on my Facebook page, and even in mainstream, it's okay to go black people. It's sickening. It's enough already, okay? I mean, if I was white, I'd be mad. I understand why people are upset. I understand why, number one, the Klan and the racists, far right, whatever, alt-right, whatever, crazy, quote unquote, crazy, militant-y kind of, Confederate flag, just those groups who are just, that's what they do. Those, I'm not even talking about those. I'm talking about regular people, everyday white people in the Appalachians, poor white people who aren't getting 1 ounce of news coverage. But every other thing they see is about black people. Black people, this, black people. Oh my God, a white person looked at a black person the wrong way. Oh my God, and to be on the news where you got poor white people going through some of the most atrocious things, I'm sure. I don't know for sure, but I can almost guess, going on out there and just getting no coverage at all. A black person can kill a white person and it won't even make the news. But let a white person kill a black person, it's on every channel in the world. And I can see how sooner or later, somebody's gonna push back against that. Somebody's gonna cut on the TV. It's just, and the representation, some people say, well, it's been years where we didn't have it. I get that. The pendulum swinging the other way and you becoming the same thing that your oppressor, and this is becoming the same thing that you're fighting against, I don't think is going to be problematic eventually, if not now. And the way that it's so, you can just talk about, it's just so, people are just so comfortable talking about racism and black people. It's just too easy. It's just mainstream now. Black this, black that, every commercial, every this. I'm like, oh my God. I gotta turn this heater off. I gotta get it all nice and toasty in here. So I think there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance because it's just too much. The DEI, it's the diversity, equality, inclusion. And Chicago Pete, some shows don't do it, and it seems I like those shows. Yellowstone, unapologetically masculine, unapologetically white, or non-race. Race is just not an issue. It's just not part of the show, which I like. But the masculinity part is the part that I like. The unapologetic masculinity in which characters can be flawed masculine towards the masculine, and some of the acts carried out just being pure, just unmoral, or, pushing the moral compass and not, fitting in that nice, clean, idyllic virtues. Some of them are kind of nasty. Some people are doing things that, to say for their family and stuff, that legal or illegal. Bad characters are portrayed in a good light, where there's a blur. There's no longer a clear definition of who's good and who's bad anymore in movies, especially with House of Dragon. Damon, is he good or bad? We still don't know yet. Or do we? I forget what happened at the end. I forget what happened. We don't even know if Damon's good or bad yet. I don't even know if I know he's still alive, but I can't remember. But anyway, House of Dragons. Damon, he was a character. We don't know. And in a couple other shows, we don't know if the characters are good or bad, or has character flaws. A good character that has flaws. We don't know. But it comes down to race and racism. And another thing that I got. So if you're cheering for Patrick Mahomes because he's black, I want to tell you he's not. Patrick Mahomes is white. Patrick Mahomes is white. The one drop rule. Okay, let's go to the one drop rule. I was like, okay, I heard somebody, I think it was Umar or Killer Mike, one of them said, the white race is the only race that they have to breed with themselves to maintain the race. As soon as they breed with somebody, another race, that person is mixed and no longer, quote unquote, white. Black people can mate with a white person, and because of the one drop rule, that person will be considered black. And it's a tendency, way more than a tendency, because you got The Rock and you got some other people, Patrick Mahomes, who aren't playing the black card. They don't want to play that black card. Okay, so what? I'm black. I'm not going to stand up and be black. I'm just going to be me. And some of them might not even identify with the black culture. You ask me, Patrick Mahomes, you see the way he talk and the way he walk? He ain't no nigga. He barely black. We might need to check his parents to see if they was mixed. Because the way Patrick Mahomes, the way he talking, he's just, I'm just being stereotypical because I'm allowed to do that because you can't cancel me. But actually, I don't want to say that. You probably could because, human beings will find a way. Human beings, don't mess with human beings in life because it'll find a way to slap you. But anyway, so if Patrick Mahomes ain't black, he white. And so with the one drop rule, and I was thinking, I didn't think who set that up. Who created the one drop rule and why? And then I realized maybe white people did that, saying that if you breed with somebody else other than a white person, you're out. You're leaving the race. You've not descended, but you've left the race. You're no longer part of the white thing. And that, just like you could say, a black person could say Barack Obama. Now, Barack Obama is more black than Patrick Mahomes. Let me just, something like that. And not just in skin color. Not just in skin color. But then again, and Barack Obama ain't as black as Fat Joe or somebody like that. You know what I mean? How you can go and you got Vin Diesel. But anyway, let's not go down that road. But that one drop rule. So that was, then it was brought to my attention that white people set that up. White people put that out there so that people would think that to be white, you need to be white. You don't see white people claiming people who are mixed. Black people claim they're black. As soon as they half mixed, black. One drop rule, black. Black people, or I would say everybody, but not everybody, but the mainstream idea seems to be, if you ain't white, you ain't white. And if you are a white purist, that would be something that you would put in place as a protector of your race, saying, hey, if you mix, we don't want you, in a way. And I really didn't mean to put it that way, but it kind of could come out that way. You know, I'm not trying to look at it in that kind of way. I'm just trying to talk about it in a more strategic manner. Because the idea, I think for me, and I'm gonna say, all of us are mainstream, is that if you got one drop, if you mixed even a little, you black, you ain't white no more. And we claim you, hey, come on our team. How come some of the white people don't be claiming? White people could claim The Rock, and like I said, they could probably claim Patrick Mahomes. Say, hey, he one of us. Look at him, even the way he walked. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to talk about. I like to explore it and talk about it. Again, I've never experienced. I mean, I don't remember experiencing racism, and if I have, it didn't have an impact on me, and I don't remember. My last relationships were with white girls, white females. Foreign even, non-United States. So that's where I'm coming from anyway. And basically, as far as me and relationships go, that's a whole nother conversation. That's going down a whole nother conversation. After being married and getting divorced like 30 years ago, having kids and being in, several relationships, good relationships, wonderful relationships. I know what it's like. I know what the feel is. It's just the degree, like I've said before, the best feeling a person can have. The highest, for me, it was the highest moment, the peak. It was the best. Those moments, but they're fleeting. They can't be maintained, and they shouldn't be. There's work involved, and that work involved in a relationship makes those peaks higher to overcome the trenches and the adversity and all that. And like right now, I look at myself and I'm cool. I'm cool. I look at it and I'm cool. I don't want to go down this road. I'll go down this road at another time. But let's just stick on the racism thing. So the Black Joy, and then I looked at the DJs at the Black Joy. They have a Black Joy after party. So I looked at the DJs and the kind of music they promoting, and the things that I'm gonna see in here. What am I gonna see? I'm really interested in seeing, what they're presenting. I am definitely open to finding an organization that gets my attention and makes me want to not support, but be a part of, to contribute to. And I thought I found one with FAIR, F-A-I-R. I forget what the acronym is, accurate, something. It's like they're somewhat anti the Black victim narrative. More, they want truth. It's called FAIR, and they want truth in reporting and not so much of the blaring racism is gonna get you and watch out and racism exists narrative just being pushed all over media, which may or may not be based on fact, because there was the George Floyd thing. There was a white guy who got killed the exact same way. It was a white guy who got killed the exact same way. And you never heard his story. You never heard his story, and you won't hear them. They won't put those on. That's not the hot topic right now. I mean, who cares? I don't want to say who cares, but then, see, I don't want to say who cares, but imagine if you're white and you're poor and you're suffering and you're struggling and then you're being oppressed, by people, be it, police officers or whatever, and then you cut on the TV and everything is black this, black that, black that. Black person, they make a big deal because a black person saw somebody wrote the letter N on a wall, and the whole community just is in an uproar, and it makes the news. And poor white people looking at that going, what? They're killing us, and they're taking our food and our money and our water supply and all this, and in these certain parts of the country, whatever. They're being, they're going through trials and tribulations more so than just, the little clickbait that's being promoted on TV and especially on the internet. Oh my God, the internet. Well, I just did 35 minutes. That's good. I still got about 27 more to go. I can get a lot done. Yeah, probably since I won't be able to go outside today. I walked yesterday in the rain. It started to rain a little bit. I got a little nervous and turned around and came back. I didn't walk my circle. I turned around and looped back, came back the way I came, because that way it has a lot of overhangs and places I can duck in case it started raining. And the other way was like up a residential street where it might be a situation if I was to walk up on somebody's porch just to get dry while it rained. But that's just all one. I think I covered up pretty much everything. It kind of started with the Patrick Mahomes ain't black and racism versus racist. And then I saw the Black Joy Parade. It was hyper positive. Do you think hyper positive when you think black people, Oakland? And I listened to her talk, and what she said was right on. It was a couple pages that I clicked on. It was right on. I said, black trauma. Oh yes, we hear black trauma all the time, but there's more than just black trauma. There's more than just black trauma. Black people are happy, silly, crazy, some of the most fun and spirit. As I remember, we were some of the most fun and spirited people. It's almost like when we get by ourselves, which may be the whole thing, when black people are just with black people or whatever, it's just the funniest thing. Well, most of the time, there's going to be some contention, because people are people and families. But, it seems like my picture is black people can be silly, fun-loving, outgoing, kick back. But the narrative, I keep saying the word narrative, but what's being pushed also is a stereotypical angry victim, needs help. So, and it's just too much. My God, it's too much already. Okay, I think I said enough. Maybe I'll edit this, maybe I won't. But so I'm gonna get on the airplane tomorrow, fly up to Oakland, get a room, hang out, see P-Funk. And I do all this traveling to see P-Funk. But it's not just P-Funk. There's a lot of experiences. Tons of experiences. One trip I took to London, and I cut it too tight. So the only thing I did there was see P-Funk. In fact, I was in Manchester, and I cut my schedule so tight, the only thing I got to see was the library. I went to the show in the library and had to get on the road and go to the next show. I had cut that way too tight. And I realized too that when I travel to see the band, that I it's okay to miss a night. If they go up to Glasgow, is it Glasgow? Whatever, I think it's Glasgow. If they go up to one of those cities, let them go. Take a day off. Go see the London Eye or something. So when I go see P-Funk, it's not just P-Funk. I see the city and the travel. It gives me a reason to see a place, I've usually never been. Unless it's New Orleans. I go back there all the damn time. I don't know. What's up? I love me some New Orleans. I do love me some New Orleans. Yeah. I've been on this too long. I need to get off, stabilize, get my balance, and then maybe walk. And I'll walk around the apartment for a little bit. Should be able to run in place and do it, but running in place is too hard. Running in place is too hard. And I rode the glider at my mother's house, and it doesn't have the bricks on it that I got on this one. It's too easy. So I know now that if I put more bricks on here, it's gonna be really good. And I'm sweating. I broke up a nice little sweat. See me? What is that about? I woke up a nice little sweat. Hey. My weight was 203 today, which I've done before. I just gotta watch out what I do tonight and tomorrow. Well, tonight I should be good. Tomorrow I'll be traveling, but we'll see when I get to the hotel. Get relaxed and get comfortable. It's supposed to be a pre-party for the Black Soul thing, Black Joy, that I should walk and go check out. Just to have the experience of Black people in Oakland, Black History Month. And the concert tomorrow, the P-Funk show is free. So it's gonna be a bunch of folks up in there. They said they had 30,000 people in there last year. It's gonna be, I'm sure they're gonna police it and try to do this and do that. I think there's an entrance. Hopefully there's an entrance and they, wanting people. 41 minutes. But it should be good. It should be good. Hotel was kind of pricey, or I didn't want to pay that price. I'm not getting a car. Since I'm gonna get there so early, I'm gonna take the train to the hotel, at least to the hotel area. See if I get early check-in. I'll probably call the hotel from the airport. Say, hey, can I get early check-in? And if they say no, and it's raining, I'll just stay at the hotel. I'll stay at the airport. Or I could probably I wonder if I can take a BART over to San Francisco, go to the wharf or something crazy. I have my book bag, that's about it. I'm not even taking clothes. I might take underwear and socks. And I might take a shirt or something, just in case I get wet. So I'm not gonna take a lot. Might not, I'm gonna take a camera. I'm gonna take at least one camera with me. Let's be real. Anyhow, feels good, huh? Looking at the rain, I'm looking at my patio door. Got the curtains open, looking outside. Watching the rain, listen to the rain at night. And I have my heater. I'm learning, you get these heaters, you learn over the years how to, where you set them and get them. And I had it last night. I think I had it set on 69, and it was perfect. It would cut on and off and keep the room warm. And I'm under covers, and I'm still not cold, but trying to snuggle and get warm. And I woke up usually a little too hot, overheating, sweating, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like super. I've been colder. I mean, I woke up, a lot warmer, hot, where I had to take off my shirt and just take covers off because, under the covers and then the heat going. But I'm getting to a sweet spot with the heater. Okay. This was long enough. I just did 309 calories, 41 minutes. I can walk a little bit now, do some stuff. 45 minutes. So we're gonna y'all 2 times. For me, for the phone. And for every elementary particle that's ever existed in this, or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. Totality of it all, y'all. A theory of universe, a hypothesis of all as one. On the one? Nah, not yet. Not yet. Still got to work that all on the one thing out. All as one. My name is Jeffery.